Hi, I'm Dr. Melanie Presikowski from the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine, where I serve as the Associate Dean for Admissions and work in pediatric emergency medicine. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what makes Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine unique among those in the United States. Here is our beautiful building. So Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine is Virginia Tech's very own medical school, offering a 4-year allopathic, meaning MD degree, with opportunities for dual degrees. We are committed to creating clinicians who are scientist physicians who use the cutting edge knowledge and techniques that are available to doctors today. We are also partnered with Carilion Clinic, a huge not-for-profit health system dedicated to making a difference in the community with cutting-edge educators and medical techniques. Together, they work to provide collaborative learning, a problem-based curriculum, which I'll explain briefly, and unparalleled mentorship for every step of the medical experience. Our graduates are lifelong learners that utilize research and evidence-based medicine in everyday medicine. They are also physician thought leaders who champion health-related causes in their communities and regions. Our curriculum has a number of different unique clinical experiences, including opportunities to engage in interprofessionalism, a health science systems science curriculum, administrative electives that give you a look at management and leadership within medicine, leadership electives, missions in other countries and parts of our own country, and outreach to those in need. Our mentorship is comprehensive. We have the longitudinal ambulatory care experience, which gets our students into the clinical realm beginning the first year of medical school. And we have physician thought leader communities that are really designed to help our students understand the role of the physician outside of medicine, what it's like to be a member of a community, to engage in community service, information that's important to know as a physician, like paying off loans or making investments for your future. Our faculty are in committees that are both regional, national, and even international. Our faculty are nationally recognized, and I truly believe our school is unparalleled in its bedside teaching and career advising. Our curriculum is divided into 4 domains. The basic science domain, which of course is present at every medical school. We teach our basic science by dividing up into small groups that learn together based on real patient cases. We call this problem-based learning. Of course, all medical schools also have clinical science. This is where you have exposure to patients and to each of the fields of medicine. We also make research one of our domains, helping you or guiding you through an area of inquiry that's important to you to help really underscore the role inquiry plays in medical practice. And then our health system science and interprofessionalism domain is present throughout all 4 years, woven in to show the importance of how a physician interacts within its community, locally, regionally, nationally, and even internationally. Our clinical science domain includes patient interviewing, looking at each of the body systems and skills, procedural skills for each of those, looking at psychosocial issues and socioeconomic determinants of health. This is where you get involved with your longitudinal ambulatory care experience to really practice interview skills and exam skills on real patients. We use all sorts of technology to teach procedures and skills through our simulators and simulation laboratories. And then, of course, there's plenty of time to not only practice, but receive feedback from your physician mentors. As I alluded to, we teach our curriculum using problem-based learning. And those problems, so to speak, are a new patient every week who presents with a chief complaint. You work in small groups as you ask for more and more information, decide which testing would be beneficial, and really learn a patient approach to how you will solve problems as a physician in your career. So, for example, George is a 3-year-old boy who has been unusually tired for the past 3 weeks. The students that work through this case will perform a physical exam, ask for blood work, and eventually diagnose George with leukemia. That happens in a set schedule where students are given lectures that will provide some of the basis to their knowledge. They get together and learn about George's case, come up with some learning objectives, divide them up, and each go home to study on those specific objectives they were assigned. They'll have a research class and some time to do interprofessionalism. The next day, there'll be some lectures, perhaps a workshop on how to draw blood or how to interpret blood tests. Some unscheduled time during which they can work on their problem-based learning objectives, go to the gym. On Wednesday, when they show up for problem-based learning, they will have the opportunity to teach each other in one of our problem-based learning rooms. You can see here that this group is being taught some of the concepts that this future doctor believes are important to solving their case through a game that she developed. You work with every single one of your co-classmates by the end of the year, at least once. These groups are changed periodically so that you get to know everybody and you get to learn lots of different learning styles. Of course, there's a physician mentor who oversees all of the problem-based learning. And then what is truly unique about our school is that on Friday, you will meet the actual patient who inspired the case, and usually the physician who cared for them. Now, in some cases, the patients have since passed away and there'll be a family member instead. Obviously, this isn't George, but this is another patient whose case was used to teach in our school. We call the clinical years phase 2. Now, of course, at our school, you've already had some time in the clinic or the hospital to practice your skills and your interviewing. But during your 3rd and 4th year, you actually rotate through all of the different fields of medicine, just like other medical schools, that will prepare you to take your licensing exams, which we call the STEP exams. At Carilion, at Virginia Tech Carilion, you also have a rotation in research. You have time that is carved out for learning radiology, and everybody rotates through emergency medicine. But of course, there's lots of time for electives. Ultimately, all of the graduating 4th year students will match into a residency. They pick a field of practice and find out which hospital or with which hospital system they'll be learning that field when they graduate from medical school. Our school has an amazing record of really having remarkable matches, people matching into the field of their choice at the locations of their choice. And part of that, I think, is due to the fact that we're teaching our students how to work through clinical cases from the very first day in our problem-based learning. And that process works. Our students are able to demonstrate the knowledge that they've mastered in our licensing exams. For example, here I show the mean score on the Step 1 licensing exam, which covers all of the basic science knowledge that medical students are expected to learn, against the national means for those same years. The truth is, our Step 2 exam scores are even better, where students are expected to relay or relate the knowledge that they've learned in applying to patient cases. Again, I truly believe that's because our approach to teaching involves learning how to approach patients from the very first day. The Carilion Health System is a large one that is dedicated to serving its community. It's a large system with multiple physicians representing all of the specialties and subspecialties, seeing a huge number of patients every year. And although it's a not-for-profit system, turning a revenue that's then reinvested in the community and in entities like our medical school. We serve a patient population that's about 1.7 million, spread over about 100 miles in most directions from Roanoke, Virginia, where the school lies. So what are the reasons that students choose Virginia Tech Carilion? We have a relatively small class size with somewhere between 49 and 50 students per year that can be divided up into small groups for problem-based learning. It creates a really collaborative learning environment where you get to know all of your fellow students and build real relationships with your professors. This collaborative learning is something that I feel is imperative to being a successful physician. As an emergency physician, I collaborate with fellow physicians and interprofessional people of all sorts, nurses, respiratory therapists, radiologists, all the time in order to provide excellent patient care. We have this commitment to interprofessionalism that begins with your first year of medical school and is really modeled in our system through your clinical years. Our graduates have top step licensing scores and amazing residency matches that really speak to the success of our curriculum. We have a wonderfully diverse and acute patient population serving a large region in Southwestern Virginia. And I believe our mentorship is varied and just unparalleled among medical schools. Thank you very much for joining me to learn a little bit about the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to look us up on the website or contact our admissions department directly. Thank you.